Hello you guys, and welcome to day 7 of the vlog. Today is Wednesday and it has been a good day. I'm super happy to report that we are pretty much ready to start regular content tomorrow. So I did move through things a bit quicker than I had originally planned, but I'm very excited that we actually get started with Spanish and social studies stuff tomorrow. Today we did do the gratitude activity. I actually will link that below. What I did, I put together a pretty basic handout of some ways we can think about gratitude, some examples of gratitude. So if you're interested in checking that out, that is below. It was pretty simple, but I think it helps students understand a little bit more about practicing gratitude, and it's just a basic free resource, so feel free to download that if you are interested. After the gratitude activity was done, then the students continued working on their collages, and we also helped the students set up their Duolingo accounts. Now, I'm very excited to do Duolingo with my students this year. I had intended of doing it as just an activity, 10 to 15 minutes per week during the Spanish time. Not anything major, but what's so nice about Duolingo is obviously there's a lot more languages besides Spanish, but it's all individualized and students can work at their own pace. If they are not as strong with Spanish, they can spend more time on things. If what we're doing is too easy for them, they can go and move ahead. But I wasn't really able to do it with my students last year because the previous year, when they had a 7th grade Spanish teacher who no longer works at the school, apparently that's kind of like all they did. So I had heard various things about this teacher not really teaching or doing much with the kids, but I definitely didn't want to add to that since they were kind of burned out from doing it. For us, I want to spend 10 to 15 minutes per week, and the kids seemed really excited about getting started with it, so I was very happy about that. Anyway, now that my core classes are done for the day, I'm going to be doing some work on various other tasks. I've got my lunch break right now and then my planning time. So a couple of my key things, I'm going to be making some copies. Our copier situation has been a mess. There was one day all 3 copiers in the building was broken, and it's just a little tougher at the start of the year because typically people are making more copies. But I've got some Spanish activities from last year. Students will be making a little like booklet here with different words from last year, hopefully, that they learned, or if this is new to them, be able to go through some of these things like greetings, basic question words, numbers, months, and days. So we'll start with that. I personally did get this from my other team teacher, so I don't know where this came from, unfortunately, but I can't really link it below, but it is a pretty good activity to start with. That's the toughest thing. You know, with social studies, I can kind of jump in wherever because people have had social studies before, and also you don't necessarily have to know exactly what happened before you move on. It can help, of course, with context. But with Spanish, it's really tricky because I've got such a huge range. I've got a big percentage of students who didn't take Spanish last year, and now we're in the second half of Spanish. I've got students who are native speakers who everything we do, you know, how it's structured maybe is too easy for them. So it's a big range, and the differentiation part's really important. This is kind of a good place to start. So I'm gonna be copying some of those. I also have my students sing a song on Friday that's in Spanish. So I have the first one. This is the song Di Algo. This was a favorite of my students last year. We didn't end up doing a ton of it last year, mostly just because I was having some discipline issues and it was just becoming too much of a headache. But I am going to copy these. This is just a video from YouTube, and I typed up the lyrics for. Actually, I got the song from YouTube, but then I made my own video for it. I can't remember if it's up. I don't think it's actually up. But I will be photocopying the lyrics. This will be something we do on Friday. And then while I'm doing copies, I also made some not prepared, no problem tickets. This year, one of the things that I'm doing, I've increased my expectations, and students are required to bring their Chromebook, a writing utensil. Their notebook stays in class, but they do need to have it, as well as their agenda book planner to get signed out. There's a pass thing in there. If they don't bring what they need 3 times during the month, then it is a 30-minute detention. But each trimester will give them each one card. It says, not prepared, no problem, and this will just be given to them to get them a kind of a free pass if they forgot something or didn't have something. So I'm gonna go just make a bunch of these copies. I have to do some parent phone calls about some negative behaviors from yesterday, but overall, it's just been a really fun day. I just keep thinking back. It's definitely a funny thing it will be interesting to kind of evaluate, but we were talking about things students are grateful for, and you know, what moments bring you joy during the day. And I had a student write down that this YouTube channel is something that brings him joy, and he's like, yeah, and there's gonna be, it's not actually this YouTube channel, it's my main one, Abundantly Minimal. And he's like, yep, and the video comes out at noon, and because I have that, I upload videos on that channel at noon on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Of course, those are scheduled. I'm not actually doing anything with YouTube during the school day besides vlogging like during my lunch break or before or after school. I don't know, I couldn't stop laughing. It was just a very funny thing to me that, you know, they would say that they were very excited to watch the videos, and like, it's like, yeah, I was watching one this morning. So it's just interesting. I mean, just kind of the role, and I'll get into this on a future vlog topic, but just kind of like the interesting role of teachers being in the digital space as well. It's a topic for another time, but it is interesting, and yeah, it just cracks me up because I will be the first to admit that I don't think minimalism is that exciting to kids. I think it's really important in life, but I don't think it really starts becoming relevant until you live out on your own, or you're more so in the future, like not at the middle school age necessarily. But at the same time, I think all the ideas about it are pretty good, and definitely there are countless benefits, but it's just kind of interesting to me. I hope it doesn't become a problem, but it is, it was just funny. Like I just couldn't stop laughing about it. I don't know. So I'm gonna go make these copies and take care of stuff, and then I'll be back for today's topic, which is much needed, ditching my teacher bag, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about them. All right, so I've had a chance to take care of a lot of my daily type of tasks, and now it's time to address the real issue, which is a teacher bag. I made a video about a year ago talking about what's in my teacher bag, and probably a lot of it's about the same, but I'm actually gonna be ditching this. Now, here's the reason why. I think that many teachers probably have a teacher bag, but I don't know if this is just me, maybe it's just a me problem, or maybe it's others as well, but I bring this bag to and from school each day, but for the vast majority of what's in here, I just kind of carry it from place to place. It's not really what I intend, but it's just easier to do that sometimes, and I don't really always know exactly what's in here, and if there are things that I intend to do or accomplish, sometimes I bring them home and it doesn't even happen. So I am going to do a little experiment here, and I'm going to be trying to get rid of my teacher bag in terms of not use it anymore. Because the thing is, I've got a purse, and this purse works pretty well because it's a bit larger than what I've had in the past. And I also have a lunchbox. Those I'll still bring, but if I don't have to bring this big bag anymore, and if it's kind of useless, then why would I want to carry it around? I'm gonna go ahead and empty out what's in here, and then chances are I don't think there's anything really that I have to bring back and forth on a daily basis. I do always keep an emergency reusable bag here, so if there was something that came up, I am prepared, but I don't think this really needs to happen anymore. It's definitely pretty worn out too, like the color's all gone from the straps. Some of the stuff's still from the start of the year, like I had these stencils that Jake gave me back, a book I meant to keep here, more paperwork and data that doesn't need to be at home, more general start of the year stuff. Ooh, a brand new notebook. Well, almost brand new. Some notebook here, name chart, some blank notebook paper, a promotional calendar that I might just use because I don't have one yet. Our district gave us one last year, so I've still been waiting, but I don't know if I should be. Some permanent markers, another little collapsible reusable bag, some cardstock, old sample notebook from last year from another student, more permanent markers, highlighter, lots of pockets, permanent marker. Oh, some box tops, yeah. Some pens, another highlighter. Oh, another pen. Oh yeah, lanyard. I had meant to bring that in. Ah, some extra headphones I got from traveling. Gotta collect those when they're on the plane for the classroom. Another pen. That's a nice pen. Some command strips. I think I meant to hang something up right now, but I don't remember what it was. But I'm gonna be trying to ditch this teacher bag and not actually be bringing home that much. If we're very realistic about what we are actually going to need and do at home, I think that can help us rather than blindly just carrying this around. And I think in some ways it maybe makes us feel productive, like, yeah, look at all this stuff I'm bringing home. Or maybe it makes us feel just like, well, I've got this just in case. But really, if we're intentional about it and you feel like you bring home papers but don't actually look at them, or you bring home other materials but then don't usually get to it, maybe it's not worth bringing this back and forth. So there was, I think, one day last year where I accidentally got locked out. Not really an epic story. I was at one of the sporting events and didn't know that the alarms would sound if we went back in the building after that point. So I just left it in here and it was fine. I'm gonna be giving this a try and I'm sure you'll hear more about it, how it goes throughout the year. And I'm just gonna put this stuff back where it belongs. And if not, maybe it's an epic fail and then I can return to it later on. But I feel optimistic that it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna take care of this.